Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope all is well with you and yours. What's good, what's good, what's good. So, we have a decently slow news day today, which is good because for the past couple of days it's been just news off the charts. Let's start with the Nasdaq looking to increase its options contract for BlackRock's IBIT by tenfold, so from 25,000 to 250,000 contracts. That's actually really, really big. So I'm dying to find out, what happens with that. We were just talking about some options last night when it came to certain things, and this was one of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people get involved with the options for the ETF. See what I mean by complex trades? Just saying. To me, it's more like you're playing the numbers and you're not really investing in the actual asset when you're playing with this kind of stuff. So that's fine, right? It's all about the money and the doggone thing funny. So that's cool. But in terms of long-term investment, you might want to get your hands on some Bitcoin directly. Just saying, you might want to get into that. What else do we have going on? We've got DePIN Projects generating $500 million last year, 2024, $500 million. And basically, AI-powered decentralized physical infrastructure networks generating $500 million in revenue. In revenue, mind you. That's actually a very big deal because that's about 100x from where it was a year prior. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, that's crazy. And it's led by Solana and Base. That whole push was led by Solana and Base. Mind you, you can make money from Solana, but Base doesn't have its own coin, so you can't make money off of Base. Base is literally just the base blockchain. That's something to consider, right? When you start thinking about, what the connective tissue is in the Web3 space, you start to realize, wow, Base has really made it there, haven't they? Because you've got a lot of dApps running on Base. Clearly, you have DePINs running on Base. So Base has established itself as a part of, the connective tissue. And what I mean by connective tissue is a part of Web3 upon which other parts of Web3 exist in a significant fashion. So Polygon, Ethereum, Optimism, Arbitrum, even Chainlink, even though it sits on top of Ethereum, Bitcoin, that's all a part of the connective tissue. Other projects just rest on top of that, right? They rest on top of that foundation that was built for them, pre-existing. I think the cool thing that I like about Base is Base came along and said, we're not going to do a coin. We're just going to introduce this place where you can build. Not a bad move by Coinbase. Not a bad move at all by Coinbase, because it's kind of like, who was it? Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon created a company, and it was basically a book club, right? And they let all these book writers come in and, show off their books to everybody. And the only thing they had to do was give her right of first refusal. So she would use that club to judge whether or not a book could be a hit. And if she thought it was going to be a hit based on those numbers, she would take the book and make a movie or a show out of it, thusly making money. She played the long game and it worked. Looking at DePINs, I'm sitting back, I'm going, Base clearly laid the foundation, is letting it work, because what happens when you start building on Base? Coinbase would then know what's going on over there. Oh, and get a jump start on, maybe we might want to list that coin. Make money. Just saying. So there's a rhyme or a reason to everything, but I do like how they rolled out Base. I will definitely say that. Base is based on another blockchain. What is it? Optimism? I forget which one it's based on, and I think ultimately they're based on Ethereum. I've said this before and I'll say it again. There are a lot of projects out there that complain that the older chains need a lot of help. They need a lot of growth. They need a lot of this. They need a lot of that. But you can look to see how all these chains would not exist without those chains. Just saying. So when you do your research, again, the GMB3, do your research, know your entries and exits, and invest deliberately. And you can only do that in that order. Right? You can only do that in that order. Take a slightly deeper dive. Every time, so let's suppose you're new to doing research. Every day, pick how much time you're going to spend on research. Just do that amount of research. It'll get you into a groove. And then increase by 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 10 minute. See what I mean? And then you'll find that equilibrium for yourself where you've done enough research. You kind of have a flow to what's going on in the news. You can recall certain things so that when you see something new, you can tie it together. And that way, when you show up to the 8 p.m. show every night, the 8 p.m. live that I do every night, during the week, then you can join in on the conversation talking about, what's going on in the news and what your thoughts are and really add to the conversation because that's what the GMB community is all about. Same thing, when we do the live on Sundays for the Sunday Roundup. And this Sunday is going to be special. We do the Sunday Roundup at 4 p.m. every Sunday. Every now and then I take off, but usually every Sunday. But then the big one is this weekend, we've got the Big Baggers meeting at 1 p.m. this coming Sunday. And that's a private video call between all of the big baggers where we take deep dives into a lot of different things. This week, we'll be taking a deep dive into the Big Bagger Index. We've picked out enough coins where I have a list of coins that we've discussed. And we're going to talk about, maybe we should actually be following that as an index. Just saying. That, and we'll be talking about tokenomics versus technical analysis. We'll be going into a deeper dive with staking for a couple of things. So it's going to be a really good conversation. And guess what? Yours truly won't be doing most of the talking. Right? We might get Hutanik to talk about what he's choosing for staking. We might talk about a couple of wallets that we're using for different things. We might be talking about entries and exits for when we purchase and sell different cryptos. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. So we might want to pay attention to things. You might want to become a big bagger. So go to growmybag.tv/sign-up. All right. What else do we have going on in the news? We've got Riot Platforms expanding their Bitcoin mining operations. They increased their hash rate by 155% last year. That's not small. And they're looking to do the same this year. And they're looking to raise, because last year they mined about 516 Bitcoin. That's not small. They're also looking to raise $500 million to fund future growth. They want to do more. Marathon's doing it. Riot's doing it. Hut 8 is doing it. All of them have been in the news in the past, I want to say 5 to 7 days, with expansion plans. Expansion plans. So you see how you recall other pieces of news and put it all together. So now you actually have a pretty robust picture of what's going on in the mining space. That's what I mean. That's why I say do the research every so often, right? Every day for however long, and just do it every day. Just do it every day. Start to compare, this news to that news. Is it worthy? Right? Was it news, or should it have been just a press release? It was a gussied up press release. Or was it an advertorial? You'll start to pick that out. You start to pick out the telltale signs of, oh, that's BS, that's BS, that's BS. And then you'll welcome yourself to my world where I see more BS than I do real news. Now you know why it takes so long to actually flip through the news. But once you start developing those tools, you'll be able to flip a lot faster because you'll be able to identify what's BS. And guess what? It doesn't matter that you go to this source and it's a reputable source. No. You have to judge article by article, not by where that article is from. Not by where this article is from. Because you'll get companies that are releasing articles in different areas using bots to create the article, sending the same message but written differently. So they look like articles, but they're not. It's the same article. One article released 50 times, written differently across different areas. And what does that do for a project if that happens? Increases awareness for that particular project, right? So for example, we've got GMB TV. The community has the GMB TV coin, right? I could create an article about the GMTV coin, have AI rewrite that article 5, 10, 15 times, whatever, an X number of times, right? And then take each one of those articles and submit them to that number of papers. They'll all be written well. They won't look like they come from, from AI. Why? Because I give AI a voice. I give it a character, and it stays in character as it's writing the article. Right? So I've got versions of this article, but all delivering the same message, again, just written differently. But now you see GMB over here, GMB TV over there, GMB TV over there, GB over there. And you have, all these places where you see it, when it really just should have been a press release, noted as a press release, done. Or it's an advertorial. You see how that works? You see how you can build something like that? That's one of the reasons why we created GMB TV. We wanted to actually walk through the process of creating a meme coin, promoting that meme coin, and watching it grow. Right? But I don't want to trick people. Our community, we don't want to trick people. So we're letting the coin grow as just naturally, right? But we're still taking in all of the lessons that we learned so we can see, hey, this is how this works. And that way I can do things like I just did, which is share with you what we're learning. So that you can start to see, oh, I see how that coin is doing it. I see what's going on there. I read this article, and then I flipped a couple of times, and in this website, it's not the same article, but it's the same article. Right? They've gotten slick. It used to be basically the same exact article. But now they've gotten slick. They change up the article, but it's still delivering the same message. You mean to tell me that this person dropped an article and 2 minutes later, this person dropped the same article about the same subject, delivering the same message? See what I mean? I think that's a bot. Right? This person. You have to pay attention to where you're getting your news, and it's not the website that you're going to. I've seen some of the best, most reputable websites suffer from the same thing. So you have to go article by article. And sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll actually have 2 people, 3 people, 3 people's a lot, 2 people writing about the same article because they got the same news. And you can check because you can see, well, what articles has this person written? What articles have this person written? This person. And then you start to see the crisscross. And you can try to figure out, well, is this real? Is this real? Is this real? You start to do that, but you can only pick up those tools if you're doing your research every day. That's the only time you can make that happen, is when you're doing your research every day. Something else that caught my attention today, Solana. Solana is introducing a proposal for scalability, a scalability upgrade using this thing that they're calling Lattice-Based Hashing. Lattice-Based Hashing. Okay, cool. That's awesome. They'd be able to scale more and all that good stuff. I don't think I have a problem with scale. Right? My problem with Solana has never been about scalability. It's been about reliability, resilience. Because last year, one of the big baggers did some research. Last year, Solana had 5 outages. 5. Who can afford to have 5 outages? For various periods of time, 24 hours, 5 hours. So if you're doing something that's mission critical, Solana's not the one. Real time, Solana's not the one. I'm not worried about scale because you're having a conversation about scale, but Solana says that they can handle, what was it, 1 million transactions per second or something like that. I had the table before. I think I published a table before about that. And I'm just like, that's not the problem. The problem is your reliability, your uptime. Fix that. Tell me that you found that problem. Tell me that you found your network gremlin and you're fixing that. Because to me, you're building more on top of a platform that can't sustain itself. Because if that network gremlin comes on, let's pretend, Solana maintains above, let's say 250, hits its all-time high and is above 250. And all of a sudden there's a network outage. The last major network outage they had took them from around 200 to 128. I think that would be a crushing blow for Solana. A crushing blow. Forget about the competition that's coming along, right? The competition that's coming along, you've got Cardano. Cardano's got scalability, it's got reliability, it's got resilience, it's got security, it's got a community, it's got strong development, it's got everything Solana wants to be when it grows up. Everything. I look at Cardano and I just go, yeah, Cardano is coming along strong. Strong, very strong. It's ridiculously strong, right? Something else. Some former executives from FTX created a new company called Backpack Exchange. Backpack Exchange has gone out and bought FTX EU so that they can expand into Europe. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's like, hey, we didn't do anything wrong. We're going to start this other company because we believe in doing what we do. So we're going to do that. And since we actually know how that works, we're going to pick that up since you're already there. Thanks. That's pretty smart. It's pretty ballsy. It's pretty ballsy. I have not used Backpack Exchange, so don't ask me how it is. But looking at that news, I was kind of like, ooh, that's pretty big, because they gain a license in Europe, an MIFID license. Well, it's the two MIFID 2 license. And it enables them to be compliant crypto derivatives trading in Europe via their Backpack Exchange program. Yeah, smart move. Very smart move. So we should be paying attention to things like that. Now, I say, pay attention to the news. Pay attention to the news. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let's go do this. All right. So we've got this week's economic numbers. I told you that what we were expecting on Thursday has been moved to Wednesday. So we've got ADP unemployment, initial jobless claims, wholesale inventories, minutes from the December FOMC meeting, and consumer credit, right? That's a lot. That's chock full of nuts come tomorrow. Then Friday, we get consumer sentiment, the preliminary report, U.S. unemployment report, the unemployment rate, hourly wages, and hourly wages year over year. Very interesting. I'll be paying attention to those numbers. Fear and greed index is at 78. I don't care if you didn't notice, but you've got a certain coin that's over $100,000. It's been dropping though. It was up in the 102 area, but it seems to be dropping. It's at 100, 500. We'll get there in a second. DeFi Llama total value locked right now is at $141.735 billion. Then you've got Bitcoin. You see that downward turn right there? Here, let me draw it for you. Right there. You see that downward turn. Oops, don't need that. Want this. There you go. So it's off a little bit, and you can see that drag right there. But it's also on very little volume. Very little volume. So what I'm expecting is probably some upturn, because what everybody was expecting was, oh, we broke above 100, we hit 102. Then people start selling off because of lettuce hands, right? And they start selling off to take profit. And that's what's dropping us down right now. So we're at 100,557 at the moment, right? So let's zoom back in, and you can see I told you yesterday, I thought we thought we were gonna break above, and we did break above that 99,655 number, right? That used to be a ceiling for us. It was a ceiling for us before, see? And then we broke through that ceiling a little bit, and then we came back down. So if you look right here, this is the highest point, and over here, we're already coming back down, right about there, we're coming back down. So if you were to draw a line from here to here to here, you can actually see that line going straight across. That might be, 102,833 might be our new line, our new top line, to see if we have to hit that to bust through to get to 107,780. But I think once we pass through 107,780, I think at that moment, that's when we're looking at 110. And we've got a little ways to go before that happens, because like I said, if you were to draw a line here, I'll just do it. If you were to just draw a line right there, that's our resistance level, right? That's our resistance level right there at about 102. Come on now. At about 102,893, give or take. Actually, right there. So 102,773 is about where that resistance level is going to wind up. You got the 3 points, 1, 2, 3 right there, and you can see how that's going. So that's establishing a resistance level. I'm going to leave that line there for tonight, and you can kind of see what's going on. Very, very interesting. Then on looking at the big board, and you'll see why if you look at this board right here, you could see that there are a lot of opportunities, right? H bar, ton is up, Solana's up 213, Cardano's up at 112, was at 114. You have DOT, Doge, Link, SHIB, Pepe, BNB, BCH. You have all of these coins that are telling you, oh, from a big picture perspective, oh, okay, I can see what's going on. But which one do I buy? Where do I put my money right now? And you go, oh, I'll look at the charts, and it's like, yeah, this is okay, right? It's giving me some information. All right, that's cool. I can see what's going on. You can see that Bitcoin is still up. Right now it's at 100,614. Cool. It's up 7.73% year to date. Ethereum's up 911. Okay, cool. XRP is at 16. Solana's at 12. Doge is at 21.64% year to date. Meaning if you would have bought these coins on the 1st, right, January 1st, this is the return that you would already be getting. Now you know why I tell people to pay attention. So if you're looking at Cardano at 39, it's knocking on the door for USDC at 113. Do the math. You can probably tell like what number that Cardano needs to hit to bypass, the bunny hop USDC. Right? You want something else that I found out today. You want to know who got bunny hop? PayPal got bunny hop by RLUSD. PayPal got bunny hopped by RLUSD. See how fast RLUSD is bumping up? I'm telling you, pay attention. PayPal doesn't have a chance. Tron is over here at 23,000. And then here are the next few coins that we should be paying attention to, because they're all really tightly woven. From Hedera at number 17 all the way up to Avalanche at 17, because you're talking about that's about a $5 billion chain right there. And you're looking at, if you go $6 billion, right, you've got Polkadot, Hedera, Stellar, Shiba Inu, Toncoin, Chainlink, Sui. Sui's just been on a rip. It's up 23.95% year to date. It's just been tearing it up out there. And I'm saying this, look at the price difference between 12 billion, 13.7 billion, 13.95 billion. You see how close all of these coins are? Like I said, If Solana takes a hit, it could fall far. It could fall far. I'm expecting Cardano and Avalanche to really start picking up. I really do. Especially with Avalanche, and Avalanche has a lot to talk about with California taking all their automobile titles and tokenizing them on Avalanche. When you hear about more states doing that with Avalanche, I think you can hear Avalanche take off along with gaming and DeFi, other things that Avalanche has got going on. Avalanche has, really good use cases. Cardano, we know all the use cases. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be tremendous. And I don't think it's going to be that long before it bypasses Doge. It's got a while to go before it catches up to Solana. But once Solana gets dropped by Cardano, it'll never be in the Solana will never be in the top 5 again. I do not believe so. Right? But looking at these numbers side by side, now you know why I look at the GMBX factor, because it gives me a little bit more, tells me a little bit more of a story. Right? When I start looking at these coins, the top 25 losers, top 25 winners, it tells me a little bit more of a story, because I can tell, well, it's new. Like looking at grass is relatively new, but it's been popping up. And at 0.36x on the GMBX factor, you start to realize, oh, people are taking profit on that. At about 0.35 and below, probably taking some profit, probably suffering from profit taking, right? Pudgy Penguins is catching up. Look at that, ranked number 60. Ranked number 60. It's only 38% off its all-time high. It has risen a lot. It was off its all-time high by way more than that. A GMBX factor of 0.64. Pudgy Penguins is catching up. It's caught its breather. It's catching up to itself. It's starting to do things. Virtuals protocol ranked at number 45, down 8.4%, and it's got a GMBX factor of 33. Again, it hit new highs, and people are just taking profits. People want those profits, and I'm like, I'll wait on my profits. I'll wait. Because if I realize profits now, I have to pay taxes on them. So I'm going to wait for the market to reach a pinnacle, and then I'll take profit. So I only have to worry about paying taxes that one time. I don't have to do all that heavy lifting on the math, right? Because every time you do it, it's an IRS triggering, it's a tax triggering event. There you go. So I'd have to pay taxes. Here, if I put my money back in, I'm paying taxes on that same money again when I pull profit. Hence, I have diamond hands, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting to reach a certain pinnacle. And when we do, that's when I'll take my profit. That's when I'll take my profit. I'm not going to continuously take profit for certain wallets. I'm not going to continuously do that. For other wallets, you might decide to do that. But that goes back toward, you should understand what your investment style is. You really should. It's going to make a big difference. And then you can adjust your tax basis based on your investment style. So you can be better prepared. Get with your CPA, get with your tax attorney, right? So you can better understand what your investment style is, what your investment strategy is, and how it would affect your taxes. So you can actually, move properly. Doesn't mean you're going to have to change the way you do things. It just means that you're going to be prepared for how you do things. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, smash the likes. Definitely subscribe to the channel. And by the way, you want to sign up to be a big bagger. Why? We've got every month we have at least one call, video conference call, only between the big baggers. And we have one coming up this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about the Big Bagger Index. It's a group of coins that we have. I'm going to talk to the group about that. We're going to be talking about tokenomics, staking, technical analysis, and the difference between that and tokenomics. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and there might be an additional treat for the big baggers this weekend. I won't know until later on in the week, but it's starting to look good. It's starting to look good. All right, everybody, have a great day. This is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. What's good, what's good, what's good?